So I feel like if I have to say anything to Black women who want to get married, like, it's not that we have to settle, because we don't. The numbers just aren't out there. Rip up the list.
Start your deliverance journey? When did you start and say something's wrong with me? I got demons. What year was that?
I don't think I really knew I had demons. I don't know if it was something I just seen on Facebook or watching Dr. Alexis talking about deliverance. I think that's when I was convinced to try it. But the whole journey itself started in 2018. It was when I was on the highway. I decided I was going to run into a back of a truck.
To kill yourself?
And
why did you want to end your life?
I was miserable. I had another breakup, and it was just like nothing was working out. I hated my job. I didn't feel purposeful. I was miserable. And I remember like God saying to me, if you don't want your life, just give it to me. Like, don't kill yourself, just give it to me. And that's when I completely surrendered. I was like, okay, whatever you want. I was in Arkansas. I was in Little Rock. I was like, okay, whatever you want, I'll do it. Like, I'll surrender, like, without any type of reservation. And literally, even just that quick, like, which is within 1 month, my life completely changed. Within 1 month, I got a job offer making way more than I was making. These people was like, you want to move to D? And like my environment just changed completely. Just within 1 month of just completely surrendering. So that's when I'll say the journey really started, because before then, I was just trying to do things my own way. I mean, I had been in counseling. Nothing really came out of it.
Preach it.
Meditated. I mean, some things, it was all topical. That it made me feel better, but it was topical. It wasn't deep work. It wasn't like the real restoration that I needed. But I was just trying to do things my own way. And so I just did what, I went to church, prayed, went to counseling, trying to work out, trying to eat healthy. But it was just so hard. It was just so hard. And that's what made me want to commit suicide. I'm like, I just don't want this life if this is what it's going to be. And now I'm on the complete opposite end. And I'm not saying my life is perfect by any means, but sometimes I think like, man, this is so cool and easy. Like, and I'm waiting for something to happen.
Like, I get it. I totally get it. It's like, it's almost like it's too good to be true. Like you're living a dream. You're like, where is the monster? Like at any moment he's going to pop out.
Any moment. So I'm like, I don't know if it's PTSD, but
I think sometimes it's PTSD, because I have that sometimes. Yeah.
Really?
Things will be going great in my family. Like we'll have great family time as a little girl. And then boom, something crazy would happen. Usually with my brother, because he was a hellion. The demon was operating through him to torment our family. So whenever something good would happen, something bad, it's super bad would happen after that. So it's PTSD. Like you're always like looking like, okay, what's next? But the Holy Spirit has you.
Yeah.
He has you. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. So do you have anything encouraging to say? I want you to first say something to the AKAs.
I don't know what I would say, because
what is becoming an
a lot
AKA?
A lot of them are in a space, and it's such a personal journey. When I went through that, I had sisters, and so I thought, who were Christian, who I thought I could talk to about it. And a lot of them are in this space where my beliefs are in line with the sorority and vice versa. Like, it's all connected. And so there was nothing I could really say to get to them. And I wasn't trying to recruit anybody else to be in my journey. I just wanted someone to understand, or like try to relate, or just try to see. At that time, I was
Just as a friend.
I was 20, 21 years old. So when I decided to renounce my letters, no one else was doing it. No one else was on YouTube doing it. So I didn't have like anyone to talk to.
Right.
But
At 21, you renounced?
hmm
Really?
hmm
Why did you renounce AKA at 21?
because I knew I wasn't supposed to do it in the first place.
Oh.
God told me not to do it. I was disobedient. My membership dues, the initial dues, I didn't even have it. I took out a student loan to do it. I wanted to do it so bad.
How much were
And
the dues?
like $900. I didn't even have it. But God told me not to do it. And I decided I was going to do it. And my car broke down. I had a Cougar. My car broke down. And it was going to cost the same amount of money to get it off the shop. And that's all I had. So I literally just got a student loan just so I could do it. He told me not to do it. When I went into those rooms, he told me not to do it. But at the same time, what do you do when you're so stupid young? And I was young. I'm in a room.
And your father was a Mason, so it was that this demon needs to reinstate his contract in the next generation. You like being like led as a sheep to the slaughter, but you didn't understand why you were targeted.
We were in a room, and it was on our line. It was 21 girls, and it was probably 40 to 50 other women in the room from different lines, all helping with the ceremony. So God was literally like, when we had to bow and kneel in the altar, God was literally saying, like, do not bow, do not have any other gods before me. And I did it because I'm like, I just did. So I knew I shouldn't have done it in the first place. And
so who are you bowing to though? You were bowing to the altar of what?
I don't even remember. All I remember is a pillow, and we had to go one by one and kneel. And I remember saying that pledge. I never said the pledge. I always mouthed it. And even in chapter, I never said it. I mouthed it. And me and a few more people mouthed it too. So when I got time to
trying to say it
renounce,
either.
I'm like, girl, I know you weren't saying. And it's like, you have to think something's up. And they're like, what? No, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay. But I never mouthed it. It never felt right. It was for me, I didn't have a lot of people in my family that went to college and that made something of themselves. So I wanted to see, it's me experimenting. I wanted to see, like, what is this about? What is all this about? And then a part of it too was that I wanted to do it so, like, I guess feel validated. And there's a lot of things in my life that, and I know I still need deliverance in these areas, but I'm an overachiever. So sometimes I just do stuff just to say I can, just to say I could do it. So that was part of it too. I just wanted to do it, but I never should have done it in the first place. So much hell came from it.
Okay, tell us about that. That's what I want to know. So you said so much hell came from it.
Yeah, I was a straight A student, and then we were so obsessed with it. Like my grades, I had an F in my environment chemistry class.
What?
Yeah, my grades was like down, and I didn't even have an excuse. It's not like, and people gonna get mad, but AKAs don't pledge. So I don't care. It's not even like I went through a pledging process. We didn't get the offer to pledge until the next summer, after we had already crossed. And yeah, they was like, y'all want to be made? And I'm like, no, like I have a jacket now. Like, what are you talking about? And that created more enemies, and it created division within our line.
Wait, your line was supposed to go through the pledging process?
Some of us, they picked certain people who they felt like would represent the organization well. So they picked me, and I got an invitation. I said no.
And that gave them a problem? That was a problem?
Yeah, because they want to take advantage. They want to teach you something, take advantage of you, and make you into this person. But I mean, they put us through a lot. Me and the maid of honor, we went 10 years without speaking to each other. It was because there was so much division between us. We didn't even start talking again until COVID. Until it was honestly right after Deliverance. That's when we start connecting again.
Oh, the
So
relationship got restored. That's that. But I heard about that. There's like this viciousness, this stuff that comes in between the sisters, the line sisters.
mhm. So we cracked up. We was like, things come back full circle.
And y'all were
And she
laughing
looked
at
like she
her.
saw a ghost. Uh-huh.
That's embarrassing. That was so embarrassing for her.
Yeah, well, I think it was more of a surprise because she probably never expected we would all be in the same room again.
Isn't that crazy how you were all in the same room though?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That is very wild.
But yeah, a lot of hell came from it. I mean, my grades fell because I was so obsessed. I don't know. They put my breaking point. They put a lot of pressure on me. I was stepmaster, so I was choreographing like this whole show, and then they were late, and then I was trying to work. So they came late one Sunday, and I said, I'm done. I said, I'm not doing this show, and I'm not doing this organization. And I had that's when I was done. But it took me until graduating and like really getting a quiet space is when I wrote my letter. And I'm like, take my name off your scrolls, and I'm done.
Oh wow.
But I held on to stuff. Even though I was done, I held on to my book, my pen. And when I don't know who I talked to about it, but when I threw that stuff down the chute and got rid of everything, like the air just cleared. So it was just another layer of stuff. Mm-hmm.
The accursed objects are a big deal for people.
So it took me 10 years to get rid of that stuff.
I understand. I get it. I totally get it. Anyway.
And we all go through. I mean, I was just talking to one of my really good friends about this. And it wasn't until I voiced it that I felt free. And I was like, girl, I gotta stop looking at my ex's profiles online. And she's like, me too. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. And ever since I talked to her about it and I did the spirit spouse things, like I don't have the urge to do it anymore. But yeah, I've done that for years. I still do it. Well, I was as a week ago.
But you know what? Like you want to know how did their life turn out? How
mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, something was wrong. Something definitely was wrong. I know I'm with the right person. Like my husband does not believe in divorce. I still see a lot of potential in him. He sees it as like a put down because I see potential. I'm like, no, I just see that you operate in like 20% of what you could be. I'm that person that's gonna push you. Your life isn't over. Just because you retired early. Your life ain't over, dude. Try something new. It gives you life to try new things. Well, one last thing. Is there anything else you want to say to the other beautiful Black women out there who are still looking for a husband?
Oh, the only just say
it.
I have to stop worried about being attacked and being wrong is rip up the list. Rip up the list. I know a lot of really good girlfriends who would make great wives, but they're hung on, oh, he has to be set up. And because the reality is, I'm not saying I'm Miss Perfect, because when I met my husband, I was overweight. But I've lost it. But even still, like, I don't have any kids. Yes, I have a good job. Like, I have good personality. I can look a certain way, but at the same time, the numbers just aren't out there.
That's what Kevin Samuels was saying the whole time. And wait, and Joker, I forgot his name. The white coach, the guy, Better Bachelor. His channel is Better Bachelors. The numbers just aren't out there.
They're not. So I feel like if I have to say anything to Black women who want to get married, like, it's not that we have to settle, because we don't. But there's just some things that are not. That has to be more. There are some things that just can't be more important then you finding a mate. And so I have a really good friend now. She wants somebody. She's so pretty, but he has to be, he has this and he says that. And then like, if that's more important than everything else, it's just not gonna happen.
Right, because it's just shallow. But describe your husband.
He a good 5'7", and I'm 5'3", but I'm 5'3.5". So to me, that's fine. I'm like, that's less people looking at my husband because he looks good. So he's 5'7", and he just wasn't. He has a good heart. I mean, he has some things going. He's smart. He's master's in computer science. He didn't have kids. Those are like the basic things for me. But yeah, I know like some just random guy friends like in this area who are entrepreneurs making money, but it's like, oh, I'm too short though. So it's just little stuff like, and I just feel like as Black women, if you want to be married, then
rip up the list.
So I think for me, people always say, what's your standards? And I've never had a problem. Now, even though I had a problem like finding a good relationship, a healthy one, before, I never had a problem finding a date. But I have always been consistent with, I ain't got no standards, child. No, he got all his teeth.
My list was, he needed to be cute. Because I used to have this thing where I thought the devil, I would sit in church and I would think, there's no men here. I'm going to be forced to marry an ugly guy just because I'm a Christian and in church. I really had that fear. That was a real nightmare for me, even at the age of 12.
Have had it. You're like, he's going to be ugly. He's going to smell bad. All of this.
I said, okay, so he needed to be cute. He needed to be a Christian. I wanted somebody who had a degree and somebody from a strong family. That was it.
That's not hard. That's not hard to ask for. But some people out here are asking for the most, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're choosers. They have blinders over their eyes to block them from who they should be choosing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for the interview, Tori. I believe this is really gonna be encouraging to a lot of people because they're gonna see that she's a real person. And she had real people's struggles and she got through them.
And you're still working through them. So it's never ending, but it's way better. So yes.
What are y'all favorite things to do together, you and your husband?
Eat. He is Indian. So our favorite things to do is to find new Indian restaurants. Most favorite.
That's so funny. That's cute though. I love it.
And hike. We like to go walk in the park, a good hike. So
that's a great combination. You eat and then you hike. So y'all not only just the incredible gobstopper family.
He was my motivation. He's so big on that, on like just being healthy. When I met him, and see, a lot of people would have got offended, but you know what? And I think that spirit of offense, like that's something I dealt with too. But it just completely dissipated. When I met him, he was like, "You cute." He was like, "Can you lose some weight?" And I think I normally would have got offended. I was almost 200 pounds.
What?
Yeah, he was like, "Can you lose some weight?"
That now the Black man would not have said that to a woman. I don't think so. I think he was bold because he was not an American. American men, no, that's like fighting words right there.
Yeah, he says a lot of things just because he doesn't know any better, but it's authentic. It's him, so I appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, I know I need to lose some weight, and I was like, well, why did you like me? You know what I'm saying? If you thought I was overweight, he was like, it's for your health. It's for your health. He was my main motivator. So yeah.
What did y'all do? What did y'all do? How did you lose it?
That's a whole nother episode. Long story short, I cut back on my portions.
Okay. Okay.
Long story short. But I will tell you, but that's like another 30 minutes on your clock. If you want to know the details.
That's great. I love it. But you know what? That is a part of the whole deliverance journey, for God to drop somebody in your life
Mm-hmm.
to help you to lose weight. Like you say, that don't have anything to do with deliverance. Girl, you have no idea. It unlocks so many things.
It did. And it's continuing to. It was I don't know, Joy. I just appreciate you so much. Like, just for doing this work. And it's not a lot of people out there doing it. And a lot of people don't know. So when you was like, you want to do a testimonial? I'm like, absolutely. Like, I love to tell my story. And especially I feel like it's a safe place,
Yeah.
because I'm not at the point where I can be completely open, like with my family, about everything that has happened to me. Like, they don't know who I am. They don't know like all the details. And some of it is for their protection. They probably could handle it at this
I'm sure there's
point.
stuff about them that you don't know.
Yeah.
They're protecting you.
Yeah. I'm sure it goes both ways, but yeah, I'm just so like grateful that you just did it. Like, just have the courage to be like, this is the path I'm going to take to help other people, because it's seriously like life changing. Like 100% like changed my life. And there is like a million other things like I can talk about, but I know we only have like so much time.
I
But
think that's,
I seriously just want to say thank you.
oh, you're welcome. And I just want to help so many women. I want to help everybody, but I was just writing this morning. We Black women have been told, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're angry all the time. Like they're giving us, they're telling this, they're saying stuff about Black women all the time. And that's why you're not married. That's why you ain't got nobody, and that I've been told that. And it's just, it's hurtful to see our women try so hard to be perfect, to position ourselves because we want a family just like everybody else. And we're being used by the church.
Mm-hmm.
Black women financially support pastors. They're helping to buy those pastors the mansions and supporting their lifestyles and getting them all their cars, because it's the salary, the tithes of the Black woman is carrying the church. But yet the church doesn't want them to be free to the point where they would get this information to them. It's like, the answer is always, oh, just put more money in the offering plate and you'll get a husband. Just show up and be faithful. And it's all lies. It's all lies. And God is showing me it's really spirit spouses that's hurting the Black woman. It's all these ancient covenants and contracts that we got to break. And it's working.
It is working. And I think along with that, like, I just wish all of my Black sisters, because lately I've just been getting close to women in general. I don't know what that's about, but it's like, try something different. Black men are great, but sometimes that might not be your husband. My husband's not. If I was stuck on this whole, I have to have a Black man and Black family, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be married. I just say I don't know. I'm not
You
gonna say I
look
would.
foreign anyway. I don't know what it is. You look foreign.
You know what? I don't know if I need to go through Deliverance again, because my husband told me that. He said when I met you, he was like, I thought you were Indian. He was like, sometimes I forget that you're Black. He was like, sometimes you're just, to me, he was like, especially when you got your hair on, he was like, you just Indian with an accent. I'm like, whatever.
It's true.
And then you remember when I can't cook, but he forgets. So I'm like, I wonder if there's something else. We can talk about this off camera, but
So let me just stop the interview. I think that's good enough.